all you're doing is trading paper. It's like taking two cars and trading titles back in the day, when they used to do that. That's all this is. It's just, they're just trading paper. The renter won't know. Main Street won't really know. However, if you have money, to Neil's point, sitting in, into the BlackRock, let's say, equity credit fund, then it's possible, right? But again, it also depends on what else it's invested in. But the point isn't that.
But I'm going to push back on you with that, because I actually think the renters do know, because I have friends living in properties that are distressed right now where nothing's getting fixed. I have a friend that water's coming in through her ceiling, and the management company is trying to get a hold of the owner for the money to repair it and not getting that money. So I think there's a lot of renters that are living in distressed properties that will know, that do know something's going on. And then when it goes back to the bank or repurchased and it has a better owner that is not underwater, it will be different.
It's absolutely possible, right? Of course, right? There are definitely going to be scenarios where there's no money being spent. Because let's be clear. In year one, when the rates go up, the cash flow goes down. Year two, expenses and rates go up, cash flow is really down, maybe even negative. And now you're funding it, right? And then in year three, when the occupancy started to go down and rent started staying flat, you could potentially run out of money. At that point, when a property runs out of money, there's a few things that happen. First of all, the lender typically is all over this. They may or may not have the resources, and then they move forward with the process of basically taking back over the properties. And to your point, they resize the loan. Somebody takes a hit on that, like on the deal that we're offering on 60% of the loan. Somebody took a hit on 40% of that loan, right? An institution or a private credit for sure took a hit on that loan. And of course, all the LP money or wherever that was, it could be actually even be private credit money on the equity piece, what they call the capital stack. The capital stack is the equity and then the debt, and the debt can be multi-layered, but that's typically what they call the capital stack. So we're way down inside of the capital stack. When you're at 60% of the loan, all the stuff above it is gone. And to your point, if the property is being has high deferred maintenance, which is entirely possible, then of course it becomes a little worse, And to your point, I did actually hear, about some of this in a bunch of portfolios in Houston, where they stop paying their property taxes and the pools are green, and there's all kinds of stuff. So again, hopefully this will be temporary. That's why I keep telling you guys this is a great time to buy. This is why we're looking. You got to be careful. We don't want to catch a falling knife, for sure. We also don't need to time the bottom perfectly, but we know that it's coming. And and I still think, as I said before, 2026 will be, in my opinion, the bottom of the multifamily market. And the reason is we'll have absorbed those units, and there's not a lot of new construction hitting in late 26, 27, or 28, which is why we started building, which is, we're trying to time the market. So what you do is you buy when it's low, obviously. And when is it low? It's low when operationally things are horrible. So high expenses, high vacancy, and your debt's out of whack. So there's no cash flow, and so what you want to do is you want to go in and buy these properties at massively below replacement costs, and so that's but it's technical. I mean, you got to really know what you're buying. You don't want to buy some of these deals because they're going to be sitting on these lenders' balance sheets for a while.
Yep, and you just have to know that multifamily is looking at the same exact math that BlackRock was just looking at. So it will be interesting, how all this unfolds this year.
Yeah, this is not a small owner issue, guys. Like that's kind of what we've been bumbling around. This is a confirmation that things are going on in the multifamily space. Great time to look, great time to buy. However, you can really get in trouble if you buy incorrectly. So be careful as you navigate this stuff. And as always, I appreciate your time.